Growing up, I was a bit of a tomboy. I would always be playing with my BMX bike or on my skateboard or playing cricket or football with my brothers. And I was never really into dolls. So it'd be fair to say I had never actually owned a Barbie doll. And decades later, when Barbie was being sort of shamed for being a bad role model for girls, I happily went along with that story. Until when I was researching for my latest book, I came across the backstory to Barbie. And the story goes that in the 1950s, Ruth Handler she was the wife of the co-founder of Mattel that made Barbie. And what she noticed that when her two children, Ken and Barbara, and yes, Ken and Barbie were named after her children, what she noticed that when they were playing with their respective dolls, they were pretending to be adults. And all Barbara could do was imagine herself as a caregiver, where Ken was encouraged to think of himself as an astronaut or a firefighter or a scientist. So Ruth pitched the idea of producing a 3D plastic doll with fabric clothing. Now initially she didn't get a lot of support for it, but she persisted, and in 1959 Barbie debuted on the New York Toy Fair. And as they say in the classics, the rest is history. But there's a great quote from Ruth Handler, and she says, "My whole philosophy with Barbie was the little girl could be anything she wanted to be. Barbie always represented the fact that women have choices." On hearing that story, it completely changed my perception of the brand of Barbie. And not only changed my perception, but will actually change my future buying habits. I've got two daughters and I never bought them a Barbie, but maybe any future grandkids might just receive a Barbie. Now, when I heard that story, it was such a great story, but also a missed opportunity because I had to really search for it, where I thought, wouldn't this be great if that story was on front and center of their website, was on the packaging of every Barbie product, because that story could change perceptions. Another example comes from the famous iconic German Currywurst sausage. A couple of years ago, we were in Germany and we heard the story of the Currywurst sausage. That after the war, British soldiers were dropping care packages, and one woman received a care package that contained, amongst other things, curry powder and ketchup. Not knowing and not ever seeing these products before, she combined them and put them on a sausage. Now, a currywurst sausage is a boiled pork sausage that's then fried, that's on top of fries and covered with mayonnaise and tomato and ketchup. Didn't really sound appealing to me, but after hearing that story, we were compelled to go and try it. So we actually went to the store, the first original store that sold currywurst sausages. When we got there, unbeknownst to us, the store wasn't opening for another 30 minutes, but we waited. If it wasn't for that story, we would never even have tried the currywurst sausage, or let alone waited 30 minutes for the store to open. That is what a magnetic story can do for your brand. It can connect with customers, it can attract future customers, and it can engage employees and build long-term brand loyalty. But we need to get better at understanding the power of these stories.